You told me the story about those two women that were sisters, that they took you and your brothers and sisters in a hard time in your life to be a ministry to you, but they were a light to you in a very dark time in your life.
Right. And that's so true, because these ladies, their last name was Chrissy's, Catherine Chrissy, and I don't remember the other, so I just called her Chrissy, right? Miss Chrissy. And these two ladies, they spent their lifetime ministering to kids in the neighborhood. Amen. That though they might have these kids might have parents, but there was a lot of it. They lacked structure in the home.
Yeah, in the home. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And these ladies decided to open up their home, amen, to share their love, to share the gospel, amen, to spend time with. I'm going to make it personal.
Yeah.
With me, they spent time with me.
Yeah.
And they poured into me their love and their concern. And their desire for me to be good and to achieve in life. In fact, I didn't read very well, and Miss Chrissy would sit me down, and she said, "Will, if you read this book, I'll give you a chocolate bar." You know, a chocolate bar. You know, every kid wants some chocolate, right? And so I said, okay. So I sat there.
Yeah.
And I would just learn. I really didn't know how to read very well, but she was patient with me. She was there for me, and I learned to read because she taught me how to read.
That's awesome.
You know, and candy, boy, it was delicious. It was delicious. But the point that we're making here is that each one of us in this room has an opportunity.
That's right.
And that's what we're talking about. Everyone in this room has an opportunity to share the gospel in one way or another.
Yeah.
But we have to do something with it.
That's right.
And they did something with it. And I didn't know that it was going to affect me like it did.
Yeah.
Because the last time I shared the story with you, Pastor Jake, it really moved me in my heart.
It was a great conversation because I didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
And me being involved in children's ministry for so long, you know, it's wonderful to hear that story because they were two single women that lived together. They were sister and sister. And they lived together, but they didn't have children of their own. They were kind of like Mother Teresa.
Right. And you know what? They also, what's the word? They adopted, they were foster parents.
Yeah.
And they adopted Navajo children. And they would bring Navajo children to their home, and they would help raise these children. And we got to hang around with these Navajo children. They were so fun, and they would talk to us in Navajo, right? And
you're from New Mexico,
exactly.
Yeah.
And they would speak Navajo, and she said, "What are you talking about, bro?"
Yeah.
You know, and they were trying to teach us Navajo language, and my tongue did not work at that time, you know. But they did that for the Navajo families and the children, and they were such a great witness. And this last time, I think 2 years ago, we went back, and Miss Christie was still alive, and she was like 107 years old.
Wow.
This is true. And I walked in, she could not see because she was old and she was blind. But as I walked into the door, because somebody was living with her, I walked into the door, I said, Miss Chrissy. And she goes, Willie?
She knew your voice.
Is that you, Willie? I said, yes, that's Miss Chrissy. I just came to tell you how much I love you. How much I love you.
All of that time they had taken with you, all the time they had taught you to read the Word, they had ministered to you, did not know that one day they were investing in a future pastor who would do the same thing to people around the world.
Can you imagine if we would do the same for others?
Man.
I had no idea that I had a future of becoming a pastor, as you were saying. Amen. They probably didn't know that, but because they dared to get out of their comfort zone, they dared to reach out and minister to the community. I'm
They
here
sacrificed.
They sacrificed.
They gave their life to minister to kids. And that's amazing.
Yeah.